What's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. So yesterday we went on a massive 12-2 run. This month has been incredible already. Ever since baseball started, I already had told you guys that baseball is our best sport. I also created this new tool that I'm going to show you guys. I'm really, really proud of this one, and it's going to bring us a lot of money. So let me show you exactly what happened yesterday, and then I'll get right into this one play. So I really like this one play that we've been hitting with a few times. It doesn't come up every day. So when it does come up, we exploit it. So I'm going to show you exactly what that is. It's basically looking at teams that are coasting, meaning that they're already locked into the playoffs. And then we're looking for decent teams that are still trying to get positioning or at least are fighting for something going against these super heavy favorite teams. So let me just walk you through exactly how that looks like. And I'm going to show you the slip. It's 1-2-leg parlay in the NBA. But first, let me show you exactly what happened yesterday, and then I'll get right into the play. So like I said, the 12-2 was just yesterday. This month has been incredible already. I gave away one play for free yesterday. I talked about the Suns at a -1.5 and the Clippers at a -2.5. Somebody in the comments I noticed today that said that this play lost. It did not. They did not cover the original spread, which was like a -11.5. I never said to go with that original spread. I said I was going to buy it back. I showed the slip. So if you're not paying attention, I can't help you. I showed the slip for this play right here, and it came through for us. I took 2 live bets. You can see these are just test accounts. I was doing a live betting on baseball, so that came through for us. I had 2 correlation bets over here. This was a live bet. This was a live bet. This was a live bet. And then these are some under RBIs. I'm sorry, under stolen bases that have been hitting very good for us since last season. Some other under stolen bases right here. I took a something called a positive EV bet right here. Also another under RBIs, which have been hitting very good for us. And then this was one of the losers right here, which was the stolen bases. Lewis Robert, he ended up getting a stolen base, so that didn't win for us. Another under RBIs and a Clippers basketball. And then this was another correlation bet that lost. So 12-2 day. So let's get right into the play, guys. I wanted to show you this tool that was created, and it's going to be very, very good. I already hit yesterday. As soon as I created it, it gave me some value. I threw it in there, and it hit. So let me show you exactly what that is, and then I'll get into the 1-2 leg parlay that I was talking about. So what this is basically looking at ProfitX, which is a sports betting exchange, and it's a peer-to-peer betting exchange. If you've never heard of ProfitX, you can look it up. But basically, it's showing you the liquidity, meaning how much money people are betting, and it's actual money because you can place your bet live right now, and it'll tell you exactly how much money they're going with for each team. That's called liquidity. So what this is there's a live money tab over here, and it tells you all the money that's coming in and every single spread, money line, total, etc. So for example, right here, it's saying the Guardians for baseball, obviously, $5,400 is coming in on the money line. And then you got the different odds over here, as well as Kansas City, $10,000. The Guardians at a +1.5 has $1,000. Royals has $3,000, and so on. And that's broken down by every single game for all of these sports. So you got baseball, basketball, college basketball. You can see they got almost $500,000 on today's game. So you can see a lot. What I'm noticing too is that because I've been tracking the poly market, stuff like that, stuff that I've talked about, I've been tracking this stuff. And what I'm starting to notice is that a lot of heavy money, they go into the plus number. So they'll take the risk to see if they get like a miracle hit. What I'm trying to say here, I'm not trying to like confuse you, but you can see this is a heavily bet game with almost $500,000. Now, what's crazy is that $100,000 is going towards the Huskies on the money line. So everybody, like the sharp money and everything, everybody's going towards the other way, but there's a lot of money coming in on the Huskies. Okay, so anyways, it's good to know this because if you're not paying attention to this stuff, then you're never going to be a sharp in sports betting. So another example is there's $121,000 being ran through the Royals and the Guardians, the Pirates another $120,000, etc. Basketball, it's much more than baseball. You can see right here $226,000, and like I said, it breaks down every single one of these games. So this is a very, very powerful tool, and it actually gets the information 6 times per day. It tells you right here the last sync was at 8:19 Central. Okay, so that was about 2 hours ago. Anyways, once that happens, we go to the convergence tab, and this is where I'm really this is where I actually hit already once yesterday. And like I showed you, in the total market for all these sports that I'm talking about, there's literally you can go in there today, and there's $3.8 million available. So meaning you can go in there right now and place these bets on the money that's available right there. So like I said, it's called liquidity. Anyway, where this comes into play is where this is crazy, because we have so much data in the Sharp Edge tool. By the way, the Sharp Edge tool is 2 weeks for free, and that's where this Poly Market tracker, this Kalshi tracker, and now this Profit X tracker, all of this stuff, you're going to be tracking where the money is at, where the money is moving, where the heavy money is being pushed, and all this stuff. So where this is powerful is because we have so much data already. You can see right here the Cleveland Cavaliers at Memphis. So what it's telling you, there's $19,000 on the money line. So what it's telling you also is that the Grizzlies are being pushed $14,000, almost $15,000 going towards the Grizzlies money line. Okay. Now it's telling you also that the line is being pushed towards the Grizzlies. So this is the reason it says sharp right here, is because the line is being pushed and the money is being pushed. So that what this means again is that it's a sharp play. And then the other thing over here is saying that Atlanta versus the Hawks. The Hawks have 76% of the money. The sharp is flagged, and it's saying it's a reverse line move. I'm not going to get into all these details, but you can see how much information is just on one card. That's why it's called convergence, because it's all coming together and it's giving you a clear signal where the sharp money is being pushed. And now if it's not being pushed, it actually tells you it's contradicting right here. Okay. I'm not going to get into too many more details, but it literally breaks down where the money is at, where the line is shifting to, and it's breaking it down by sport. That's the total right there, but you can, like I said, break it down by sport. So this is going to be an incredible tool that I will be hitting with a lot. Now let me get into the play, guys. So there's 2 teams that are pretty much coasting. They're pretty much locked in. There's no reason for them to even, I mean, they obviously still want to win the game, but they don't care about covering the spread. And that's where we're going to exploit this. It's going to be 2 teams. We're going to buy it back about 10 points each. Now, another tool that we use right here is called the line move tool. So you can see the Hawks actually started at a +1.5. It's currently at a -2. So the line is shifting in the favor of the Hawks, just like I had mentioned on the other screen. So this is where all this stuff becomes very valuable, because you start looking at different data points. I'm not going to go through all of these, but you can take a look. The Knicks and the Hawks is looking like it's going to go on the under. 76ers and the Spurs looks like it's going to go on the over. And then it's telling you over here what you should be looking at. Okay, these are not final plays, but these are very strong indications on where you should be looking. And that's broken down by sport. Now, the other tool is called the Sharp Plays tool. This is going to be available for all the sports. Right now, it's only for basketball, but it's literally telling you there's one very strong play. Again, it's the Hawks, and it's -2.5, and it's a nuclear play. The confidence level is 9.5 out of 10. It gives you all the reasoning why. The big one is that it says it's a reverse line move, and it went from underdog to favorite. So if you want to check that out, that's up to you. That's not the play that I'm going to share. So now like I said, there's a lot of tools in here. There's 2 weeks for free. Check it out, Sharp Edge tool. So anyways, back-to-back report says Orlando's on a back-to-back. Detroit is rested. Cleveland and Memphis, they're both on a back-to-back. So you might want to look on the under when that happens, because both teams are tired. So the games I'm going to be looking at, you can go through. I'm going to scroll through here. You can take screenshots if you want. These are all the projections. I'm not going to go through every single one of these. There's about 5 of them there. So the ones I am going to look at is going to be Philadelphia 76ers and the Memphis Grizzlies. So let me go into this one. All right. So for the Memphis Grizzlies, like I mentioned, is going to be Cleveland and Memphis. They're both on a back-to-back. That's why you have the little red flags right here. That just means that they're both tired. Now, like I mentioned, also the Memphis Grizzlies, all the money is being pushed. Well, not, I wouldn't say all the money, but a lot of the money is being pushed towards Memphis, and the line shifted. So that's another reason why it says the verdict is to take a look at Memphis. Now, again, they started at a +16.5. They're currently at a +15. So this is actually being pushed back because earlier today it was at a plus 13.5, and now it's being pushed back the other way. So that's another thing to consider. I don't really care about this because we're buying it back so heavy that is going to make sense once I show you the slip. But basically, I'm not going to go into too much more detail. The big thing what does really matter here. Now, the biggest thing here, you look at Cleveland, they only cover the spreads 2 times in the last 10. Okay, so this is a massive number at a 16.5. Plus, they only cover the spreads twice, and they're already locked into the playoff position. They don't really care about covering the spread. They're not going to stress it about covering the spread. All they want to do is win the game. They don't care about covering the spread. And that's where the key indication here is. Okay, so the first leg of this, we're taking Memphis, and I'll tell you exactly what number we're taking it at. Do not take it at the plus 16.5. Next game we're looking at is the 76ers and the Spurs. Same scenario. So the Spurs are pretty much locked into the number 2 seed already. I don't think they can get into number 1 anymore, so they don't really care about covering the spread at all. I mean, obviously they still want to win the game, but they don't care about covering this bigger spread of a -8. Now, the other thing with Philly, too, is like I showed you, is that Spurs only cover 50-50. 76ers are covering spreads 40% of the time. And again, we don't really care about that because we're buying it back so many points. But the biggest thing today is, like I said, is that the Spurs are already locked in. They don't care about covering the spread. And secondly, 76ers are healthy for once. I mean, this entire season, looks like they've had a lot of injuries, and they're finally healthy. And the biggest huge thing is that the 76ers actually still have a chance to be in the mix for the playoffs. Okay. So you start putting all this stuff together. 76ers is healthy. They still have a chance to be in a decent spot in the playoffs. The Spurs are pretty much locked in. This game doesn't really matter. They want to win, but they don't care about covering the spread. And like I said, 76ers is healthy and they're covering spreads 50% of the time. And here's the play, guys. I'm taking the Grizzlies at a plus 25.5. Like I showed you, the line was shifting in their favor already. It went all the way to a plus 13.5, and I went kind of back up again. But again, we're buying it back about 10 points from the original line. And then the same with the 76ers. They started at a plus 8.5. Now we're buying it back to a plus 18.5. If you guys don't want to risk it, take this number that you see here. Other people, they don't want to pay this extra juice. I don't care about paying the extra juice as long as this thing hits. So make sure you take advantage of this information that I'm putting out there. I do my research. It literally takes me about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours per day to go through everything I just showed you. So it is what it is. I would really just appreciate if you can take an extra second, make sure you're subscribed. Thank you so much. Let's have a great day.